Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft update video. We are in the Bedrock beta edition of the game to check out the frogs and tadpoles, which are a part of 1.19, the wild update. And if you're part of this beta and you want to test these features yourself, when you create a new world, this has been renamed to Wild Update, so you'll have to activate that. And there's also this new game test framework slider that enables some technical backend features. But you only need the Wild Update slider to see the frogs and the tadpoles, and a little bit of a reminder, a couple of months ago we got some previews of these blocks added into the beta testing edition of this game. Oh, and it looks like the Shulk Streaker actually works now. Okay, yeah, so I'm getting the darkening effect of our vision, and we got the status indicator on the side of the screen over here. So there was a bug that meant that this would only activate once per world, and I think that is still true. So new world, let's place it down, make some vibrations, and there you go, it gets activated. So that only happens once per world at the moment. Oh, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, but this effect is darkness, not blindness. That is the name of the status effect. But I'm getting totally distracted here. If you want to see the ins and outs of the details on these blocks, then check them out in this video after you've watched this one. So let's get into it, shall we? First of all, the eggs. We've got what we often refer to as the spawn eggs, for spawning a tadpole and for spawning a frog. But also with the introduction of these, there are frog eggs. These are placed down on top of water blocks that have air directly above them. So as you'll see, I'm not able to place it like underneath that dirt block. It sits on top of the water. These also can't be obtained in survival mode. I'm using silk touch on a pickaxe and a shear. There is no tool, there is no way to silk touch these eggs. However, you can break them with just your fist. And all of this makes sense because this is not an aesthetic block, it is a functional block. It comes from the frogs after they have bred. They make their way over to the water and they lay down their frog eggs, which will eventually turn into tadpoles. I've also just learned if the water block is like actually something else that's waterlogged, like this grass down here, you can't place it on top of that. And in case you're wondering, you can't walk on top of these frogs' eggs. So now we play the waiting game, and 2 of those just hatched. Perfect timing. You get between 2 and 6 of these, and it seems to take about 30 seconds to a minute for these things to hatch. And as you can see, it's wonderful. The tadpoles just pop out of the air and fly off into the water. From my observations, there also seems to be between like 2 and 6 or maybe 7 each time they pop up. I've never seen just one pop out of these eggs. There's always a few. And look at what I've created! This is a beautiful sight. The river is now teeming with life. We got cute, adorable tadpoles absolutely everywhere. It also might look like they vary in size a little bit, but I think that's just an illusion of having some closer and some further away. I'm pretty sure these are all the exact same size. And fun fact about the tadpole, it would seem that they are the natural enemy of the axolotl. I don't know how I feel about this, because these are both so cute. But as you can see, the axolotls are going after the tadpoles. So I guess we're now talking about the tadpoles, and it should be noted that these don't spawn naturally in the world. That's what frogs do, but tadpoles are just a part of breeding and then them eventually growing up into frogs. And I have impatiently waited in my world to see these grow up. It's got to be at least 20 minutes before they convert into frogs. Hopefully I'll have been able to figure that out and put it on the screen for you or something like that. But where the tadpoles grow up, what biome, what temperature it is, affects what type of frog it will be. And I can sort of emulate this using the spawn egg, because over here on the beach where it's a warmer biome, we get the orange one, and over here it considers it something different, where we get the grey frog. And according to something that I just read online, the orange ones are from the swamp biome, the green ones are from snowy, and the tropical are white. And this is actually my first time seeing these ones now that I've found some snowy terrain. Or should I say icy. And there is nothing quite like having a little bit of fun just spamming some new creatures everywhere. Look at them! Oh, they are adorable, aren't they? Whoa, and now they're jumping! But anyway, this section of the video is about the tadpole, and I'm about to kill one, just to demonstrate that they have a very small amount of health. They have 1 heart. So 2 hits, and unfortunately it dies. And so if you let an axolotl near these things, whoa. Yeah, it's going to be a bad time because it's basically 1 hit, 1 kill. Now, like the axolotl, you can also pick up your tadpole with a bucket, and then you can use that bucket to put it back down again. And lastly, tadpoles are obviously water creatures, so when we put them on land, they just kind of flap around aimlessly. I don't think they intentionally try to get to the water, as you can see here, but when they're close to the water, they might just luck out and end up in there at some point. Yeah, and then after a little bit of time, they suffocate out of the water. So now for the frogs, and we've seen a fair bit of them already, but I want to pay attention to their walking animations, and every now and then they do this thing with their mouth area. It kind of blows up. It looks super cool. There you go, that one just did it. Come on, one of you's going to do it. Hey, there you go, thank you. Oh, and some more. Wow, that was cool. So what you just saw was known as croaking. Obviously, they can also jump, and their jump height seems to be about 3 to 4 blocks. It does vary a little bit each time. That looked like a big jump right there. Yeah, seems to range about 3 to 4 blocks. This also means that they don't take damage, or should I say full damage, for the first 14 blocks that they fall from. It is the 15th that they will then start to take full damage. Now, when it comes to their health, they only have 2.5 hearts. If I hit them 5 times, then they die. Also, is it me? When they take damage, like, the body shape looks a little bit different? It's definitely different. Now, for more cruelty, I've also got a slime here. It's the smallest type of slime, and watch this frog go and zap it away and leave you with a slime ball. Is this a new type of Minecraft farm right here? A slime farm powered by frogs. Now, frogs are supposed to naturally spawn in the world, but I couldn't find a swamp to check that out. But if they did naturally spawn in a swamp at nighttime, you have slimes in there, it could cause a problem with slime balls ending up on the ground. But here's the thing, slimes are not hostile to the frogs, and the frogs are only going to go after the little ones. And look at that, they all straight away saw this guy and went for it. And look at that animation again. Absolutely fantastic. So I think all that's left to talk about is breeding, which is done with seagrass. There's a little bit of a particle effect for the seagrass there. And the way to think of this is if it's similar to turtle breeding. So one of these should now head to the water to lay the eggs. I'm actually not sure which one it's going to be. That one is going into the water and it has laid its egg. Right, so if I try and breed that one again, nothing happens. But this one over here, okay, so it's not quite like turtles. Both of them can't breed again, but only one of them lays the eggs. Now, I'm going to go ahead and guess that the cooldown for this is like 5 minutes. You can also breed them when they're in water, and that's another thing. These creatures can swim as well. It seemed like it had a much easier time picking a spot when it was in water first. So yes, here come the frogs, all swimming towards me. Why? Because I got the seagrass. That also lures them. And it kind of looks like they're pretty good swimmers. They're moving towards me pretty swiftly. And just a reminder, if you're thinking about what happens if you breed this one with that one, well, it's where the tadpoles grow up. That's what defines what color of frog it's going to be. And with that, I think we covered pretty much everything. I also want to point out the absence of frog sounds at this point in time. They've got like jumping sounds, but none that are specific for them. Now, the Mangrove Swamp hasn't been added to the game yet, but right now I'm throwing up some footage from Minecraft Live where we first saw this, and now I'm bringing it over here to the wiki where I noticed they've got textures for a whole bunch of items that you can see in that video. I'm going to guess these have been put together by texture artists, but I figured that we'd have a little flick through at the different textures of leaves, the planks, we got the dead leaves as well, and then these other plants that have been spotted in those videos. This is the mud block, and this one right here are the mud bricks. And after seeing all of that, I'm even more excited for the wild update. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to keep watching some videos, YouTube reckons that you like one of these, so why not give them a click. That's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.